Hello everyone and welcome to another match of the 2022 Roulette Rivals World Championship. This time in the group stage match. Coverage will continue with the group H match between Jokerj and JoeTheBabyGrabber, who has a very long name apparently. Someone informed Mr. Mike about this one. This will be a fun cast, starting in Dartmoor, picked by Jokerj, no surprise, and then Miami, picked by Joe, no surprise either. Yeah, we got 1 minute until then, and this is kind of a continuation of a story from the previous match. Hopefully, it's not going to be a previous match in any of the playlists or any lists rather, but Joker's previous and first match of the tourney was a double Dartmoor, followed by Mumbai just 60 minutes ago, and following some timing and retiming, and thanks to user join the channels, basically a last minute call, because otherwise we would have disregarded it. But Jokerj did try and did tie the world record, so now he also has 136 from Dartmoor. So from the next match, hopefully, from the next Dartmoor, which I don't see any tonight anymore, we will have Fenium and Joker both occupying the map record. And of course, since these are not updated, Joker has now 4 wins, not just 2. But other than that, I think everything looks fine. And we begin with the not world record spin. It's Loud SMG as Gardener for Alexa Carlisle. And it looks like another behind mentioned double Jank strat. It's kind of a new line strat. I didn't really see it until I've seen Fenium do it a couple days ago. But you will see how at least 3 Janks will be utilized here, 1 for the disguise and of course 2 more for the tokens. Joe with different approach, he will be starting Gardener, and there is a Loud SMG up there, so should Joker fail his minute 30 strat, which will be a bit longer since the Loud kills, I think it's actually closer, but Joe is looking at nothing quicker than 2 minutes. Which is of course usually fine to win spins, but yeah, Joker's favorite new strategy, and yeah, just in general, a nice resurgence of this behind mentioned strat will be really promising for Joker. There's the newest, the Emerald Island grenade. And Jank on Rebecca to get the second token. By the time Alexa gets to her bathroom, Joker will be ready with the bathroom agency pick. We just worked so many spins there. Last question is how to deal with that on guard. Joker has to deal with 4 guards and his own aim. It was a bit long to get there, but the snail got rid of 2. With Jank the other 2. Joe misses the throw there. And then there's Joker restart, getting into combat by... I can't really say honestly, I think it was the inside guard. I actually tried this strat today and it seemed so tight for Loud kills, but apparently it wasn't enough for Joker. So that's the restart, and that will be the Joe win. With one question, if he somehow panics the upstairs people, because this will be a searching, but by the people downstairs it will be the mentioned stuff most of all. And Joe definitely has a good amount of time to exit, not a whole lot, I don't think he has more than a minute at least. But he can definitely get to the hearse exit. He needs to get this jump right, which is kind of new, and that's not precise, and it is loud, it is a searching kill. Joe gets it right second time, and gets, very likely gets out of Dartmoor. We will have to see until the very last second. Still green there and no more searching anymore, so don't expect anyone to investigate upstairs. There's the Joe finish. And Joker definitely has a chance to finish in 47 seconds. But will he? There's one more Jank to use here, thanks to these skies. There's the gun flash. But turning into Jank, he still needs to hide this guard. Alexa at least. No, he's just going to leave and hopefully exit before they come in. It is going to be such a quick in-game time, minute quicker than Joe, but the one late restart I think settles it. It's console, 2 loads against 1, but I would imagine at least a 20-25 second difference between the two. If I find the channel, Punk will inform us about the difference, and I imagine if it's above a certain threshold, especially Joker preloading and playing around before the map. 2 loads, 1 to defeat 1. 28 seconds is the difference. Yeah, just like an hour ago, Joker couldn't get his first spin first try, but this time it will cost him the first map because there I can see the official wave from Joker. So Joe with the first map win. Yes, it was just before. We will be going to Miami fairly shortly after the beginning of the match. It is 4 minutes past the hour. Maybe it will turn 5 minutes past the hour by the time the Mumbai countdown begins. Sorry, I completely blanked on the second map, even though it's on my screen. That's where it's probably the longest map of the 3, I will say that much. There's the 2 for the baby grabber. Quick spin, of course. And this should be accurate because I don't remember Joker playing Miami lately. I keep wanting to say Mumbai, that was his last map. My only 2 map played Joker's side. That's sort of noteworthy. It's not surprising that Joe's favorite map is really up there. I don't think there is another map which he has played or won so many times. But first I want to check in on Joker. Yeah, just 2 Miamis. I remember the loss. It was the RR8 final, which took a long time for him and Finium. Included at least a Sierra fall. I don't remember the other kill, but it was a long one. The Miami win was however, his first ever map. RR8 console round 1 against It's the Alex. So some good memories. And some bad ones. Consume poison for Robert. Interesting Finium. That's definitely a sketchy combination of spins. And yeah, as far as Joe and Miami is concerned, it is his most picked map with 8 before this match. His second most picked map is Whittleton Creek and Scale with 3. So I wouldn't say he's a specialist or even a one-trick pony. He's definitely very good at all the maps or most of the maps. But Miami just stands out as his favorite, and yeah, he's still leading, not in terms of win rate, because of course it can be swayed by just the odd 100%, but yes, 6 times he's won in Miami, which is more than any other map as well. "30 more seconds and can only promote a non-existent multi-Twitch link because Gordinero is live with another match at the same time. Another match from Group H between DK47 and Leoperk. Leoperk lost to Joker an hour ago, so he's hoping to bounce back against the second seed of DK. It started in Santa Fortuna, so in all likelihood we will be raiding them after a very short ending, but before that we have 2 more spins here. First Miami. Sierra Knox injected poison as Pale Rider. Robert Knox falling object as Soul Runner Mechanic. Far from a kick one. Robert's falling object is probably one of the hard incidents, and if anyone was in Observer's chat, it was some science was going under there. exactly for Robert's falling object, and I think I've seen a Soterano grab, but not for the same spin, just in general. Regardless, Jokerj starts with Waiter Start and Sugar Strat, getting the Pale Rider from down here, and no doubt leg-shotting the event security next. To get to the garage very quickly. Sierra won't be a problem, especially with the peekaboo. The other question is, can they pull it off the falling object first try? Joe will be a bit behind. As far as the loading is concerned, it's a... I can't quite remember if he's old gen or new gen, but it seems like a too long load to be favorable for him, but of course if he's getting within 47 seconds again, it will count for him in the future. Jokerj trying not to forget the screwdriver, which will be so important later on. 1 second. And this was the grab on Joe's side, which surprised me. I've never seen it before, and then Observer showcased it an hour and a half ago, and now Joe's did the same. Definitely a quick Soterano grab, and will be problematic from the team with 3 mechanics in the same garage. But Jokerj will be the first one to get the cutscene, and we will be able to judge that he's at least a minute ahead, because this is just a 25-second cutscene and they will be nowhere close to being in the same one. Very straightforward days are coming ahead. But of course for Joe, he now has the disguise, the second disguise rather. Jokerj still has to grab that one, so it's likely... They are likely to get closer, especially given the fact that the Soterano mechanics are generally... You need to get even further away from Robert to get to Soterano. And then, of course, back to the Kronstadt area and then the Bayside Center. My goodness, Jokerj with a long animation for Sierra, but she's down. Jokerj waited patiently. And yeah, up next is a Soterano mechanic, which is...
Yeah, whatever, mechanic man.
Okay, so apparently Moo was the first one, and I'm not even surprised that he would be the first one, and maybe Jokerj is thinking of the same thing, but no, he's going all the way to the garage. We'll be trespassing on the other side of these fences. He's aware of that, sorry. As long as Jokerj has Shanks, it's still fine, but Crime noticed basically there was the whoosh, but Jokerj had already pressed the trigger there. Big restart for a map that was already going so close. Joe is looking to get that prompt, which is X in this case. And another long animation, but all Joe has to do is just to get to the mechanic disguise. He won't be trespassing here, unlike Waiter or Medic. So that's an easy way to the second disguise. He's racing with this Kronstadt mechanic. He would have been fine, I suppose, but better not try with the mirrors. And yeah, it's just a bit of a chip for Joe, a bit of the same for Jokerj, at least the opening part of this spin. Lure into the screwdriver, into back to get the mechanic. It's a nice little time save there. But yeah, undoubtedly, Joe is now several minutes ahead, and it's not quite the same as in Dartmoor, where the difference wasn't too big, but Joe Rip would put Jokerj back in commanding lead.
You're the junior slipper who got injured yesterday, right?
I guess no, but I wonder if the Soterano is allowed in here.
Sierra's coming in. Everyone on your stations now.
I just keep being surprised by which disguises are or are not allowed in certain parts of the map, especially in Miami's semi-public areas like the podium. But yeah, there will be this point. Oh, especially here. Might even be a peekaboo there. Just a small delay. Joker is now... It's not even private property, but on property that he's not allowed in, basically. The rush has been avoided there. And now it's just a race to get the show car. There are a couple of ways to get this falling object kill. If you disregard the remote options with the duck on the shark, you could see a lockdown perhaps, or just a medium-sized drag under the shark. Still one bodyguard and 2 security guards to get rid of, besides Robert of course, but we'll have to see what happens there. Joe with the silence pistol, so luckily you won't have to worry about the cameras, and this is just the same lineup as I've seen today already, so will be this lockdown into the shark shot. Robert will be calm for a bit and then starts walking, and then just out of nowhere starts running. Maybe a bit of weight in there. And Joker will be able to get closer to the Bayside Center and set up his own falling object setup. But the game times are quite accurate here. He's about in a 2.5 minute territory, Joe's advantage at least. It's one shot to make this lockdown happen, hopefully without any compromise action. But with Robert being so far away, I don't expect any red guns here at the moment. Lockdown is here. And there is no way that Robert won't be escorted under the shark. It'll take just a bit more for them to get there, but once they do, and once Joe is quick about it, because can be non-target kills there, but I can only see the bodyguard and he was out of range, so that's a nice second kill by Joe. Before the 7-minute mark, and the last question is, does he have a fish? I don't think so, so it should be... It is likely going to be fish exit, although he's equipped the silence pistol again. He's not looking to shoot an aquarium or this Easter egg exit. And Joker already with a show car, but getting spotted doing so. Doesn't change much about this map, and he will be happy to just move on to the next one with a guaranteed Joe win and at least 4 points on the American side. Less than 9 minutes of real time, 7.5 of in-game time to win this Miami for Joe, his 7th Miami win of 10 appearances, if I remember correctly, keeping up his good tradition. So we've had so far on both maps the player who picked the map being very much more comfortable, and even with the quickest chat, no doubt. But we've also seen Joker ripping in both of these maps, so the result cannot be anything else but the 4-0. And yeah, next up is something that is even quicker than Miami. And it is going to be another one-target map in the name of New York. A bit over 4 minutes. And Joe did indeed shout out Observer for that. It might have been for Moo, but Joe and I have both learned it from Observer a couple of hours ago, so I found it very funny. And I suppose it would be even more rigged if it would be Fall or Job Applicant for this spin, because that is what I remember from the stream. Not a lot of experience on either side. If it's just one map, then I can just quickly name it. Yeah, it should be just one New York from the past, and it is I Like Hitman for Joe. His last match in last year's World Championship against I Like Hitman in the losers bracket last year. And for Joker, he has a win. I don't think he has a map pick either. They had that one map pick which actually puts him... Well, Joker has a lot of maps with 100% win rate. That's nothing significant there to say about New York, but against TK47 he got a map win. Last tournament, that was in round 4, which means the round before the semi-final. 2.5 minutes to go, and I want to say if I have any accurate standings to just quickly say. I don't want to change scenes for 30 seconds, but I think they should be accurate. Yeah, with currently Osh, TK47 and Joe leading the way with 3 matches played, 2 wins and 1 loss. And Osh leads with 13 points, TK with 11, Joe with 10. And Joker has 6 points from 1 match, but of course the best he can do is 8 points from 2 at this point. But with this, Joe is now guaranteed to be leading the match, at least if you don't consider the other match. But I think, yeah, Leo versus TK could also shake up the standings. We will know a lot more about Group H once this day finishes in about 4 to 5 hours. That's the full story this group has. Osh, TK47, Joe, Jokerj, Barbecue, Leo Perk, Puck, and Calamay. The latter two being rookies to this competition. And I think everyone knows by now, but 8 players enter for advance to the knockout stage at the end of the first 3 weeks and then 4 weeks of KO competition after this, to decide who will be the 3rd world champion, or rather the winner of the 3rd world championship, in case there will be a repeat winner. Less than a minute to go. It looks like we've had a map finish on the other match, but well, it's unfortunate. Froth had his internet cut out, so he was not able to verify. So Yanni had to step in. I'm not sure what will that mean for the rest of the match, but Gordini Roy is still live and streaming that one. And in all likelihood, we will still finish ahead of them, since we only got a New York to go and they have 2 more maps. Now with the Kappa from GK Punk, I'm not sure how to interpret it anymore. It's either going to be really quick or really slow. Consume poison as IT worker. It is indeed the longest in-game time spin for New York. But at least at that, it doesn't really matter what to go for. Joker with very quick loading. There's the poison at least, and yeah, I was missing something to open some gates with. Ideally a lockpick. Of course, crowbar also works. Joe, slow and steady, only has the poison so far. And opts for crowbar.
The data core should be behind that large steel door.
And also, that's not true. It wasn't only the 4 kill. Sir also did the consume poison. So if Joe was paying attention,
Good afternoon, sir. I'm really sorry, but we've had this section
then he can get a lot of spins here from one spin from his practice. So 1 chunk missed by Joe and 1 replan by Joker. Those loading times do add up quite quickly. But we can't really take it for granted that both players will finish it first try. Still far from straightforward spin. Joker will start with no chunk grab on IT worker, leaving 4 more if I'm not mistaken. Because I don't think he had used any before. Yes, I I should have kept an hindsight video on how to make a consume poison spin under 2 minutes. I should learn how to do it first though. Back to the spin, Joker seems ahead because he has the correct disguise, but Joe has the intel item, so I'm just really curious to see how these routes converge at the top, because that is where they both will have to finish. Crowbar should be fine here. Joker looking around. Joe looking around. And yeah, now it's his choice how many tranks he wants to use here. Honestly, even 2 wouldn't be problematic because, well, it's not just... you can't really use anything upstairs or in the office because any bodies found by Athena will be found. Joe misses a trank on the IT worker, but he will leave his body for a guard at least. Oh, but Joker gets found trespassing. I think that was a snail, I wasn't watching, he got everyone KO'd there, or at least... No, I think it was only Fabian, sorry. He got the disc from him. Oh, and the frustration of losing another Chang shot there.
I'm really sorry, but we've had to section off this area for now. Security suspects there may have been some tampering going on.
I mean, just... it's unlikely that Joker is having a really good time there, but Joe is also a bit behind timing at 2:18 and still down in the basement. It is starting to look problematic for the first meaningful cycle of the consume poison, which would result in a 4-minute kill and a 4:40 exit.
Oh.
But at this rate, I don't think Joe can set everything up in time. It will be really close and he will have to remain in his hostile disguise to do so.
Why do you have your gun out? I'm really sorry.
And should Joe miss the cycle, yeah, he got it first and then went for the IT workers. Joe definitely has the item. Joker likes to go for the disguise first. It's really hard to say if Joe can get this cycle, and if he can't, and Joker can get the 440, I think it is still anyone's game. It also depends on how much Joe wants to do before infiltrating the office. Ideally you have both discs, so that when the kill happens you take the last one, the CEO exit. Joe really scared me because I thought he not just aimed but shot, but now he has the shot and we'll get the second disc. At the same time we hear Diana tell us about the first disc on Joker's side.
Hello there, sir.
And yeah, both players with the different IT worker. I am myself a fan of the right hand side. Unless Punk decides to do so. Exactly, there we go. Punk already talking about the loss for New York. For the wrong item. Wrong disguise, sorry. So there's Athena coming back. That's one cycle behind Joker.
Second backup data disk is secured.
But it's just really hard to say who will be quicker at this point, because it feels like the difference between the players is one who has cycled, so real time wise they can still get the same kill. Joker was a bit struggling to get the evidence deleted or looking for the cycles. Joe starting with this high security guard. I almost forgot its name again. It's wrong with me. He has time to get this disguise. And to me, the one important thing here is, will Joe delay or break up the phone call with with Franklin, whatever his role is, because you can skip it and it can give you a lot of valuable time. But Joe will start with a vodka bottle, and I'm not exactly sure if that first guard will see it. Luckily he won't. So that's the kill setup for Joe. Joker will be hoping to get this disguise. It's awfully close there to any hex and wrong eyes, but now everyone can set up the kill and feels like, yeah, Joker is now closer because it is still the phone call for Joe. And it's the same amount of discs, the same setup, so if Joker hides his body in time, which he does, then at this point he's no doubt dead. Because it's only now, when Athena starts to go away for his private chamber, it is going to take better half of 2 minutes, at the very least 1, to get to the bottle. And for Joker it is now just seconds away. There's the kill. Joker can change back.
Director Savalas eliminated.
Problem here is the 2 enforcers, but
That's the last
they shouldn't be as quick. It will be more of a problem on the way back. This is hostile area as well, so
close look at that date.
there was a peekaboo possibility. And goes for a very risky jank shot with improving whoosh is there. And if Joker can dodge this final 2 not so important enforcers, then there's the win for Jokerj. He won't be swept, he may lose the match, but came back in New York and takes home 2 valuable points to Joe's win, or against Joe's win, who will be very happy with the 4 against the top seed. The differences between consoles, I was just going to say that it makes sense to wait a little, but it seemed more than 47 seconds, or as with the time ticking up, it seemed less and less likely that Joe can finish. So there's the final score here, 2-4 for Joe against Joker. I didn't realize it would be this hard to pronounce these names. Joker, Joe, Joker, Joe. Anyway, I show the groups, but won't show the upcomings, because we have another match going on. As things stand, Joe leads it 14, Osh 13, TK 11, but if TK were to win, he retakes the win, so watch out for that in this currently ongoing match on Gordonera's channel. Thank you everyone for watching. GG's to Joe and Joker. Thank you GK Punk for adminning this one, and yeah, until next time, see you everyone.